Hey guys, thanks for stopping by my channel. Today's video is all about how I achieve a super smooth, flawless, full coverage foundation look without the cakiness. If you are one that's struggling, trying to get that nice smooth complexion, but your foundation's caking, then this video is for you. Go ahead and keep watching, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, tell me what you think. And I actually got done just coloring my hair back to this super cool silver tone, so leave some comments and tell me what you think about that. I hope you enjoy. So I'm going to start out by first going in with the Urban Decay Brightening and Tightening Complexion Primer Potion. This is one of my favorite primers. It really helps keep the oiliness at bay, especially in the T-zone, and I find that it really leaves a nice afterglow underneath your foundation. So I'm just going to take about a pea-sized amount of that, just really focus it in the areas where I struggle with oiliness. So most of my T-zone. Just blend that out. Next, I'm going to go in with the Wipeout Color Correcting Palette by Tarte. I'm using the green shade. And I'm doing this as an extra step just because I have been breaking out horrendously lately. So I'm using this green color to counteract my redness, so it'll conceal a little bit better underneath my foundation. So I'm just going in with your basic little beauty sponge, taking a little bit of the green color and just focusing it on those areas that I'm really breaking out in. And just dabbing it and blending it out. Now the trick that I found with color correcting, especially with the green, is to not fully blend it out where you can't see it anymore, because then it's basically countering the idea of even color correcting. You're using this product in order to conceal that color. So don't go too crazy with blending. So once I've got my color correction on, I am going to go in with the Cover FX Blemish Treatment Concealer, and this is the shade N Light. So I'm taking just a little dab of this on a concealer brush. This is the tricky thing with like acne makeup products, is you don't really want to use it directly on your face, because in reality it's just going to spread the blemishes everywhere. So I have to be really careful to remind myself not to apply it directly to my face with the applicator. Use a concealer brush. So I'm just taking a little bit of this and going in those areas where I just applied my green color correction. These nasty breakouts that just don't seem to want to heal. And I actually just did a post on my blog, if you haven't checked it out yet, in regards to Curology. If you haven't heard of that, you should go check it out. My link will be in the description below. But it's a really cool company that offers, that basically offers a dermatologist to talk to you via instant messenger. So you don't have to go into the dermatologist office. It's awesome. You can save yourself a trip and some money. It's only $20 a month for customized skincare. So I've been using that since the beginning of September. That's the thing with acne, is you just have to be patient with it. So most of my breakouts are centralized in my cheek area, so that's mostly where I like to, I don't want to be heavy with concealer, but definitely pay attention to those areas the most. So now I'm just going in with a damp Cake and Bake sponge and blending out that blemish concealer. Okay, concealer's blended. I've color corrected. Now I'm going to go in with my favorite Urban Decay All Nighter Liquid Foundation. This thing is hardcore full coverage, so I reach for it basically every day. So I'm using just a pump and a half on the top of the jar, or on the top of the lid. I find it really convenient. So I'm actually going to start by just dabbing it on the perimeter of my face. A lot of times in the past I would just go right in and like start putting foundation like on the middle of my face and trying to blend out, but I find that makes my face really super cakey. So I like to just focus it in the areas that I need it the most and blend out from there. Then you'll avoid that cake face and kind of accentuating your pores where you don't want them to be accentuated at. So starting on my right cheek, which seems to be the worst, just blending it out. And then I'm using a flat top buffer brush by Coastal Scents. This thing is my favorite, it's so soft. Make sure to blend it on your neck and onto your ears. Huh. See, this thing is just kick ass. This is a good product, Urban Decay. And a lot of reviewers said that they have a problem with it oxidizing throughout the day and kind of going a couple shades darker. I have not experienced that, and I'm using shade 3.25. So I don't know if I'm just the lucky one or if it just likes sitting on my skin. So I'm just going in again, dabbing a little bit more onto the other side and blending that out. I think the most frustrating thing with when you're using makeup trying to cover up acne spots is that you can get rid of the color of the acne, but you can't get rid of the texture. And that just drives me insane. It's like, God, I've just been blessed with the most mind of its own skin. So a good rule of thumb for keeping in mind leaving your foundation away from this area is that you're going to go in with concealer and apply it there anyway. So just be careful not to use too heavy of a hand. And I do like to alternate between bouncing my brush and rubbing it against my skin. A lot of people disagree with that in regards to when you rub, it might scrape away what you just laid down. But from my experience, if I find that I might be getting a little caked up around my nose, if I blend like this, it almost circulates the makeup in my pores and helps blend it out. So now I'm just going to go in with the leftover foundation that's on my lid and just kind of touch up those areas where I'm struggling at. Here I'm just using a really light bouncing motion. I'm to the point where I feel I have pretty good coverage with it. You can go back and layer, but you have to be careful with this one that it doesn't cake up when you're definitely trying to avoid caking. So now I'm going to continue to concealer. So I'm all finished with my foundation. Now I'm going in with Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light. And I'm going to focus this under my eyes. And this is the reason that I stayed away from my under eyes with my foundation, is because this concealer is hardcore full coverage. So I definitely don't want to build up too much under my under eye and make it look heavy. So now that that's applied, I'm going to go in with my damp Cake and Bake sponge and just blend it all out. So once concealer is blended out, I'm going to go in with Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder and I'm going to bake everything. I did recently post a video a little bit more in depth on how I bake. So I'm just going to go in, so I'd recommend watching that. I'm going to go in with a light little dusting of the powder. Focus it under my eyelids. Or under my eyes, under my eyelids. Onto my eyelids. Same on the other side. And I absolutely love baking. The texture that it gives my makeup is so insanely smooth. And it's really beneficial because you're using the heat of your own face to kind of cook your makeup into place, so it definitely makes it bulletproof all day long. I'd recommend trying it if you have not yet. So now that I have kind of like a first layer down of the powder, I'm going to go in with not a little bit more, but quite a bit more with my Cake and Bake sponge. And I'm just gonna go underneath my eye and dab it on. I'm using kind of a little bit of pressure here. Same on the other side. I actually did recently see a couple videos out on YouTube that showed girls doing like a water setting technique where you put powder on like this and then you dip your face into ice water and it's supposed to give you like a really nice finish. I've yet to try that, but I'm kind of interested. So I'm just going in and touching up on the places that I do tend to get some breakthrough oil. Just making sure that those areas are really set. And I definitely, once I started baking, I definitely noticed a huge difference in the wear of my makeup. I used to go in the bathroom at work and I feel like I always had to dab and kind of pick up the excess oil that my face was producing throughout the day. But I cannot remember the last time I did that after I started baking. It makes such a difference. So I normally let my bake set for about 5 or 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna finish the rest of my makeup and I'll get back with you. So I've let my powder sit on for probably about 10 minutes. I threw on some winged eyeliner, lashes, filled in my eyebrows, so it's long enough now that I can gently just start sweeping it away. And the finish that this baking leaves behind is so super smooth. It's like once you just start touching it, it's like velvet. I love it. I love this technique and I love that someone decided to share it and teach us all. So I will show you an up close of what my coverage looks like. So now that the process of building a full coverage face is complete, I'm just gonna go in with the Tarte. This is a palette from their Paint Collectors edition, and I really like using this contour color as a blush. As you can see, I've already hit pan. So I'm just going in with a Coastal Scents angled blush brush and just warming up my cheeks. And again with a Coastal Scents stippling brush, I'm going in with the highlighter color of this palette and just touching it onto my cheekbones. And then to set all of this in place, make sure it's locked in for the day, I'm going in with Urban Decay's Chill Makeup Setting Spray, and just adding in a little bit more staying power. This is a routine that I like to do every day. I'm the kind of person that's looking for full coverage. I feel like I need it. But you can definitely use these same techniques just in order to achieve whatever coverage you're after. Full coverage definitely gives me the confidence I need for the entire day, covering up those blemishes and hard spots and making my skin look super duper smooth. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you can take away a little bit of knowledge with you today and give it a try for yourself. Thanks for watching.